Hello everyone, I am Anna and welcome to our first community kitchen. If you have signed up to participate in this week's menu, you should have received a few things. So let's start and go through them. So you should have received an onion, a carrot, garlic, onions, corn, potato, red lentils. And in regards to the spices, you should have received salt, pepper, garlic, Montreal steak spice, which is a very good generic spice. I really like that. All-purpose seasoning, garlic powder, and bouillon. Bouillon is very important. Also, and lastly, I have here, it's coconut milk powder. And what this does, we will be putting it at the end, and it gives it that extra special creaminess, just a little bit of sweet, but the thickness that we're looking for. So that's important. So let's get that started. Number one, I have a pot here. It's almost heated. I have oil in it. And we are going to get going with the cutting of the onions. I'm going to position my camera down lower so you're able to see what I am doing. Excellent. I'm going to put it over here. Excellent. So what I want to do is cut them quite fine. And when I fry them, I want to be able to get them to a place where they're still translucent, maybe at the beginning stages of it being brown, not full-blown brown onions. I love to brown my onions most of the time, but for this this recipe, it doesn't call for that. We just want it nice and translucent. Okay. So what we're going to do, one last chop here. Excellent. Don't go away. We need you in the pot. Okay. So here we go. So we're going to put that in the pot. Okay, excellent. So next, what I like to do is also have my carrot going right away, right after, because the carrot usually takes a long time to cook. It's a hard vegetable, and we want to be able to get the process going as quickly as possible. Push that to the side. Our work area clean. So we here. I usually like to cut it midway, and then I place it down so they are stable. The cut sides down. So like that, it allows me to cut it safely. So I usually like to cut it into three, and then I cut widthwise into little pieces. So this recipe, why I like this recipe, it just feels like really comforting when I have it. But mind you, I could say I love to have this on rainy days, which I do. But I'd lie if I said I don't really on only cold days. I like soup on a cold day or a hot day. I really do. So I just find it comforting. And ideally, if the world revolved around me, I'd love a pot of soup, like at least once a week. So let me pump up the volume right now because I'm chopping. My temperature is low, so I'm not worried that I'm over here and I'm not watching it. So it's still on low. I want to be safe. Oh, I only have 2 onions because I like to cook personally with a lot of onions. I feel that they bring a lot of flavor to the soup. And plus the onions are very, very, very good for you. Okay, it's coming along. So let's see, we started our soup, let's say at 9 o'clock. So let's see how long it takes to get this done from beginning to end. Okay, yes, because I love my onions. Beautiful. Now I am going to cut my garlic. So I usually don't buy pre-cut, pre-peeled garlic. So, but this time I just did. It was on sale because I find that I usually end up buying things that are on sale or that's more cost effective, because that's important. So in regards to being cost effective, this meal for the size that I am doing from would probably cost me, let's see, I'm gonna say the lentils are, this is probably about $1.50, $1. Right now it's $1. It's on the high price. My spices, that's probably when you accumulate all of the spices, that's expensive, but really you're only using pennies of them at one time because you have spices for a long time. And then the potato. So probably this whole meal that will last you probably just a couple days. It's probably around maybe $7 from top to, like, from the beginning to the end. Okay, so now we have those. So that's really important. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse this in order just to give it a little wash. That is the red lentils. And we have 2 cups right here, 2 cups. So I'm just moving to the side here. I know you can't really see me. We're limited in regards to camera. So we do what we can. So now that's all rinsed out, I'm gonna put it inside. And now I'm gonna turn it up all the way. I want it full blast. And what I'm going to do, so it was 2 cups of red lentil. Now I'm going to add 5 cups of water because we want it to get going here. So that's 4. And now we're going to do a 5. And what I like to do is always have some water aside, because as the water evaporates, you want the water to be handy. So I have there. I have it right beside. I need to have my spoon here. Mix that all in. So at this point, it's not looking too fancy. I'll show you. Nothing fancy. All you're seeing is the like just a lot of water and onion. Okay, now we're gonna talk corn. This corn, this will probably be good for one. Some people like a lot of corn. Some people don't like that much corn. So, but just for today, we're doing 1 corn. And how I like to use it in this recipe is I like to cut it in sections. So give it a little rinse. And I'm going to point this camera down just a little bit low so you can see what I'm doing here. So what I like to do is cut a little section here, and with that, I just give it a pound. Another one, down. Another one, down. Now I must admit, as you proceed, your hand starts to hurt, but there we go, all done. That is wonderful. We are going to put it in right now. That's going to give such beautiful sweetness. So the soup is going to be sweet, and it's also going to be savory. So that's the goal. And a little bit, obviously, a little bit of spice, kick. And if you like, you can always add chili flakes, which I like to do that. Okay, so we put all the major ingredients. Now we are left without the spices so far. So, what is next? We're going to bring that to a full boil. And when we come back, I will have some potatoes ready and peeled. So I'll see you back soon. So we're going to get the potatoes. Okay, so we're back. And so I've peeled the potatoes. That's already done. So things are going on the up and up. But I just want to bring the pot over to you so you can have a chance to take a look. Let's see over here. If you can see clearly, the pot at the top is getting a lot of like foam. And we want to be able to get that out. So what I like to do is I like to stir it and move it all that foam up to the top, and we discard that in order to make the broth really nice and clear. And this will happen for a while, so keep on working at it. And let's give it a nice stir. It's looking great. Let's give it a little bit more water. So now we're going to move on to the spices. It's got a long way to go. It still has to go pick up the heat and really start cooking through. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some salt, but not too much right now because we're adding a lot of salt in fact. We're going to add a bouillon. And in a bouillon, obviously, there's salt. So we're going to put in 1 bouillon for now. Later on, we're going to see if possibly we need another one. We're going to be adding some all-purpose seasoning in the soup that will give it a little bit of color. And also, we are going to be putting a little bit of garlic powder. I know we put a little real garlic, but now we're going to be putting a little bit of garlic powder as well. Okay. And we'll be also putting a little bit of Montreal seasonings. Nice. Just a little more. So, what we're going to do. So this soup is going to be somewhat like yellowish in color with little specks of orange from the carrot. And it's going to be white as well as the potatoes. So it's going to be really nice to look at. Already it's starting to look really nice. No, it's nowhere near being ready, but I just want to check the broth and see if the flavor is where I want it to be going. Absolutely. I'm really happy with where it's going. And so for now, it's now cooking time. I'll get back to you soon. Hi everyone. So right now the pot has been boiling now vigorously for a little while, but I want to show it to you again. You can see that clearly. There's still a lot of foam that's coming, so we're gonna get rid of that. Just skim it up at the top. Yeah, so it looks nice and clear. And the smell is already very nice. Very, very nice. So one of the things that I am always interested in finding out is little hacks or little things in order to help me in the kitchen. One of the hacks that I really, really, really find very helpful is getting water and lemon in a cup, like half a lemon or a quarter of a lemon in a cup, and it could almost be used even, or you know the lemon's going bad. You put that in the microwave for about 3-4 minutes. And by the time you open the microwave, it is all steamed inside. And like the walls, it's just all steamed. So you grab a cloth and you wipe it down beautifully. You know, when it's sometimes you have popcorn and that smell stays in for such a long time, or you heated up lasagna and then popcorn and then stir-fried rice, and it's like, what's going on in there? It's not, you don't even want to put your food in there anymore. So that is a hack that someone shared with me, and I wanted to share it with you, because you always want to find out little things in order for your home to be in a nice place. So that's always nice. So I was very helpful with that. So her name was Miss B, so a shout out to Miss B. Okay. Oh, this is looking really nice. Now it's bubbling a little bit too violently for me, like it's splattering out a little bit. So I brought the temperature down to about a medium. So we're gonna just let it hang out. It's not burning. Every 5 minutes, I take off another little layer. And now I'm gonna tidy up some of the mess that I've done. I'll see you soon. Okay, everyone, so we are probably 45 minutes in to it and into the soup, and the broth, the red lentils are just falling apart now. The soup is almost done. I say we have maybe about another 20 minutes to go, and then the soup will be done. So I am going to add now the little potatoes that I have cut and peeled. So I'm going to do that now. Excellent. Just take off a little bit more foam at the top. Let's just do. Just make sure that it's nice and clear. This soup, it brings back so many memories for me. When I was a little girl. And what I also really like about it is that it is so affordable, and there isn't an ingredient in here that is difficult to get. And like I said, this is a very cost-effective meal. This is to make this pot. It costs about $7, and it could you could have leftovers for a few days. But I did want to say that sometimes you have leftovers, and even though sometimes things are actually really nice and tasty, however, you get tired of them. And you're like, oh boy, here we go again, the same soup that I made. The great thing about soup is that, okay, so you have this pot, it's half a pot, let's say, and but it's so good, it hasn't gone bad. My whole thing is add stuff to it, change it up at that point, throw in some fresh spinach, give it some lemon, put some hot sauce, or you can fry up some onions and put a little bit of cumin. Put that into the soup. Then it changes it to a different soup altogether. So you could do lemony. You could then do spicy. You could do more vegetables. Say for example, you ended up fishing through and all the potatoes are gone. Put more potatoes in it if you want. Add more water. Make it your own. Whatever you do, don't throw it out. Don't waste. Okay. Okay, so we're going to let that heat up now. Pump up again for another 20 minutes, and I'll come right back. It should almost be finished by then. But right at the end, the last ingredient to go in is the coconut milk powder. This will give it that creamy, extra special touch. So, see you soon. Hello. Okay, so we are at the last stages. Our soup is going to be ready in a few minutes. But in order to check and see if that's going to happen, if that is in fact true, let me just point the camera down a little bit. So we look at our potato and we cut it. So we want to make sure that the potato, because that was one of the last ingredients. Yes, it's very soft. It's wonderful. So the potato is ready. Wonderful. Now, in regards to the broth, I want to bring this up so you can fully see. The broth, you can no longer see the red lentils. So they've just gone totally into the broth. What you may be seeing is the onion and a little bit of the garlic and of course the carrot, but otherwise it is done in that way. So as I said earlier, our last special ingredient is the coconut milk powder. So I have it here. I have 3 tablespoons in here for the whole pot. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of water and I'm going to stir it. And because if I put it in like this, I don't want little balls running, like just swimming around in the soup. I don't want that. So I'm going to put cold water, stir it up. Make sure that it's stirred up nicely. Now this item, this ingredient here, I don't use very often because it is a treaty. It is very high in calorie. And so it's something to be careful with, okay? But here we go. A nice little stir. We're going to bring this now to a low temperature because basically it is done. We just want to be able to put that in. Oh boy. The smell, guys. I can't wait to have a bowl myself. Now, I don't know about you, but I like to put a little bit of hot oil. To me, that with any bit of food makes it just takes it to the next level. Why just go, I'm so happy with it. Let me stir this. So now the color has gone to just be a little bit lighter now. Oh, and it's looking lovely. Absolutely lovely. So we are going to let that be just for I would say 5 more minutes, and it is done. I'm gonna get my bowl ready. Also, too, if you have some food restrictions, maybe you can't have corn, or I've suggested in this soup that you have salt, a lot of sodium. And if that doesn't work with you, or it's not doesn't feel right for you, or that's not for your taste, please omit that. Do not put that in. This is just a baseline soup. And what I like about the red lentils is that you can almost take that soup and make it into any soup. You could add chicken to it and take that to a different level. You could add beef to it, or keep it veggie like this. So it's up to you. You could also add different roots, like you could have yuca or cassava, another word for cassava. So another one like that. There's red potatoes, there's white potatoes, there's yellow potatoes. There's so many different roots that you could put into it that really take it to a different level and give it a different personality. So this is just a baseline, but I encourage you to be creative and make a recipe that is your own, that suits you beautifully and your family. Okay, let's see if we can start ladling that up into my bowl. So I'm going to try and grab a little bit of potato and some corn as well. And I'm going to show you. Maybe another potato. Okay, so wonderful. So what I will be doing here, I'm just going to point the camera down. For me to fully enjoy this soup, I'm going to be putting a little bit of hot oil on top. And also sometimes too, I put a little bit of slices of green onion. That's if I feel like that day. But I hope you've enjoyed this recipe. Please let us know if it worked out for you, if you thought it was too salty, or it was just really nice. Let us know, okay? Until next 2 weeks, next time we will be making, I believe, is personal pizzas. So take care and wish you all the best and stay safe. Bye-bye, guys.